Justin Trudeau calls trucker protest an insult to truth as Freedom Convoy continues. Well, I had to say something sort of rude, or that's what he's famous for. And I'm famous for saying, oh, no, he doesn't mean it. A Freedom Convoy of trucks were joined by thousands of demonstrators on foot Sunday to protest Canada's COVID-19 vaccine mandates, while other truckers blocked a border highway into the United States later in the day. During a virtual press conference on Monday, Canadian Prime Minister Justin denounced abusive acts and racist imagery at the protest and said he will not be intimidated by those who hurl insults and abuse at small businesses against the COVID-19 vaccine requirement for cross-border drivers. I agree, there should be a vaccine mandate for the cross-border drivers. Yeah, there's a certain, I've dealt with rude drivers and I've dealt with good drivers. Because I order a lot, like I'm waiting on a package today. 3 different packages I'm waiting on today, actually. And I would like my driver's vaccine. Um, but I never seen any racist, or I never seen any one of those discriminative signs. Everything seemed like I liked the Freedom Convoy, but I was not out there to see it, nor was I police or anything that was making sure everything was under control and keeping the peace and whatnot. It was to me, it was a great peaceful protest from the outside looking at it. I don't know if they left trash behind. I don't know. To me, it didn't seem like there was anything out of line. Everything seemed to be really Canadian. And what that means is peaceful, and people were out there. It wasn't anything like a Kenosha or anything. Since that's the latest one that was in the news, was that Kenosha one. We got a lot of police, but as you can see, they're just generally. I've never seen anything like that happen in Canada. You might have 1 or 2 things that you could bring up in history or something. I don't know, but generally the police, they don't really beat up the citizens here in Canada like we've seen elsewhere. Now, don't get me wrong, I got beat up by like 3, 4 security guards, but never have I ever been beat up by an official police officer. No, they tend to be actually pretty sweet with the way when they bring you to jail and everything. They try to care for you. Don't get me wrong, the areas that they put you in, like when they sweetly put you in the back, it ain't that comfortable. And when they sweetly put on the handcuffs, but they're not. The one time they put on my handcuffs extra tight or whatever, which really hurt and really wasn't good, and it hurt my tattoo. But compared to like a Rodney King or anything like that, let's see here. But no, there's no intimidation. But I see how there could have been some intimidation, but no, everybody played. I think everybody played their position or whatnot, the way they were supposed to. And I believe the trucks were actually delivering stuff too, as they went through. And we don't got to listen to Justin, but look what he's got. He's got some new stuff on his porch. Oh my gosh, he's got a wood, like I don't know what you'd call it. It's somewhere to stack his wood at. Does he? He must have a fireplace or something. And he looks like he's got a new podium. That doesn't look like the same podium he's always standing at. I was a podium person too, eh? When I was a kid, the first thing I ever did in Canada in first grade was I stood at the podium and I had a speech. My mom would have to bring up pictures of it or whatever. She's still at it, but yes, the podium. Now I'd be much better sitting at the podium, but I'd have to get a specialty outfit for it or 1970s man standing at the podium, at a podium. You got church podiums. They're all different kinds of podiums. Right. Right now, I'm sitting on the computer though, with a big desk or whatever, and I basically sit here like a podium. But beside that, uh, he says Justin says that it was an insult to memory and truth. I think it created memory and created truth. Uh-oh. Andy Milonakis. He went to Tokyo. And wasn't he supposed to come up to Toronto? And that's like almost like I stole his shine, eh? He was supposed to do an Andy Milonakis tour. And it just so happened that was around the time I did my selfie tour, and we never heard anything about him in Toronto after that. Like he said he was coming to Toronto, but then he never came to Toronto. I was downtown Toronto waiting for him. I had my tour in Toronto. But maybe he did show up in Toronto. Maybe he'll come again and do a proper tour because Andy's tours go hard. Look at all the specialty devices he has. I've never seen this on an iPhone. What is this? Why is there a? Is that his wallet or is that an extra battery thing or something? Andy. Well, you better get him up here soon because he's getting old. Is that at the equals three? I didn't even know Andy was on equals three. Uh, who's this guy again? Oh, that's the one guy in his show. This is how I originally know Andy. Andy Milonakis show.
Hey yo, Andy, you look kind of funny. Go eat macaronis. You get funny.
Yeah.
Yo, let me tell you something, Andy. Go get candy and get half and handy.
Yeah.
You can do with that candy, Andy. Eat it or scratch it like candy.
Yeah,
Yo,
candy.
Andy, what are you gonna do? We chilling out niggas in the village, and I don't know how we do it. Shit,
Yeah.
killing. Eat like candy
Oh,
and Andy.
like
You know how we
candy.
go to the family and fly a plane like candy. Where's the candy, Andy? Alright.
Andy got the candy. Andy likes candy. Ooh, I haven't seen those in a while. These are big down in the U.S. and stuff, like at their novelty shops and whatnot. You can get them here too, I bet. All different candy, all different varieties. I had candy corn last Halloween. My niece had Candy Funhouse recently. There's so many different varieties of candy. M&M's, Smarties. That's the difference where you live. Smarties and M&M's. These Smarties and they have the ones like M&M's.